Hello, and welcome to the Ended Up in Vegas podcast. I'm Nikki.
I'm Megan.
Today we have someone with us who would probably be the best person to roll out the red carpet for anyone new coming to Las Vegas. She is the Director of Community and Belonging at UnCommons. Amalie Zinsser, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Tell us how you ended up in Vegas.
My mom and dad decided to have another baby. And then I was born here in Nellis Air Force Base.
Oh my gosh.
So born and raised.
Military baby, and you went to Green Valley High School.
Yep.
Grew up in Green Valley?
Yep, I call it all the G's. I went to Greenspun, Gibson.
Okay.
And then ended up in Green Valley. Up in Henderson is where I was raised. Yep. Parents still live there too. You
were just telling us, I didn't know this about you. Tell us, you dropped out of high school?
I sure did. I was a bad kid. So I was a bad kid. My parents were like, just let's get you out. Let's do homeschool. I have like severe ADD in that realm. And I was like, I can't focus. They were like, you're going to work. And I was like, okay. So at 15, I started working at Mustang Sally's in the Valley Auto Mall.
Wow.
Ford Country.
So were you like waiting tables? Or are you bussing tables?
Yeah. So I loved their model there. I was a cashier and a waitress and a hostess, and I made the milkshakes. So literally doing everything there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I loved it. I was there from 15 to 20.
Wow. Yeah.
A good chunk of my time.
And now you're at UnCommons, so tell everybody what you do there.
Yeah, so big hefty name. UnCommons is a big hefty name. And then my title, Director of Community and Belonging. So I'm there. I wear many hats, literally. And I help out with the events. I support the tenants. I support the operations of that. Also help out with any marketing. I do a lot of the marketing side with my counterpart, Savannah. And there for future thought, also help out with Uncommon Conversations, which is our panel discussions, and help the art program. Just everything you see there, I probably have a touch in what I do at UnCommons.
So for people who don't know what UnCommons is, can you give us a brief description? Because I think we know, but.
Absolutely. Yeah. So UnCommons is a mixed-use space. You have work, so you have offices, you have retail, and you have food and beverage. We're very heavy on the food and beverage. Just noticing that Vegas needs a spot for locals. Love the strip, love off the strip, but you need to have that core spot that you want to go have a drink or some food. So that's where our space is out in the Southwest area.
And how long has it been open now?
Gosh, it's multiple phases. Phase one is about to round out. We opened our first retailer last year in June. And we also had our office tenants move in as well. The first one to move in was BDO.
Okay.
And then following was CBRE, Morgan Stanley. And then right now we're about to open up more food and beverage to bring more of a night crowd. And that's the Sundry, and Amari is coming online in June.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So UnCommons is off of Durango and the 215, so it's in the Southwest.
Yeah, it's in the Southwest area, right across from hop skip over from IKEA and where the new Durango is being built as well.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's really a unique architectural style for Vegas standards. It's concrete, steel. Do you know anything behind the decisions to make it the way that it is? Yeah,
it's a nod to Vegas. It's not trying to be something else. It's, it was intentional with Gensler and, Jim Stewart's vision and our partner's vision. We're in the desert. Let's honor that, and we want people to feel that when you come to this space. But what's funny though, as we're making a nod to the desert, I have a lot of friends and guests that they were like, the air is different here. I feel like I'm in California. And I'm like, it's a nice little desert oasis, like an escape here in the valley.
Yeah,
that's
beautiful.
Cool. Yeah. So tell us about your role there. Did they create that for you? Because I feel like community or Director of Community and Belonging is like something that's a title that just completely fits you.
Yeah. A lot of the work and the intention from the architecture to what we want to program and what we have been doing is community-based. It's for community and gathering. It's intentional, how the seats are, how you walk. Everything's supposed to provoke, you wanting to meet someone new or bring your loved ones there and have a good time. So when I met Jim Stewart, he's one of the partners for Matter Real Estate. That's the developer for UnCommons. We met at WeWork, my old job. Love WeWork. And him and I just hit it off. And he realized what I was doing with the community already for Vegas in that realm. And he hit me up and was like, I want you to be part of my team. And I was like, not right now. Can't do it right now. And then I was ready. And then the pandemic happened. And I was like, okay, so not yet. And he's like, well, we're ready for you. Here's this role. This is what we want to do. And I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And so it's, again, as I said, a hefty title, because I bring the vision of making sure it's diverse, it's equitable, it's inclusive, to our street names named after 5 civic leaders, to the art. It's all different people, different backgrounds, different lifestyles. And we're intentional with that when we help nonprofits and all these other pockets that people don't see as something that you should be helping in. I bring that to the forefront of what we do every day at UnCommons.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So being someone who dropped out of high school, is a Vegas local, and you were just recently named one of Vegas Weekly's 40 Under 40. Tell us what you have immersed yourself in to get where you have come.
Gosh, that's a good question. I think it's the people I surround myself with that got me to where I am. I don't find this as my accomplishment. I find it as the community's accomplishment. And I even, when I posted about the 40 Under 40, shouted out some nonprofits that weren't shouted out when I answered the questionnaire, because that's important. Like, I just feel like a beacon. I've always felt like a beacon, or, bringing certain voices to the table. And I think what got me there is just being open to every individual in the community and wanting to help in any way possible and asking how to help. So I feel like that's what got me where I am. I find it very surreal, just because, you think when you drop out, you're not going to be that, or you're not going to be successful, or it's going to be a little bit harder for you. And I just got very lucky. And I think it's because I was also authentically me. And I always want people to be authentically them around me as well. So I think that's what got me on the 40 Under 40.
Yeah.
I love that. Being authentic, being yourself. I think that's so important.
Yeah. I feel like I pushed that narrative, heavily tattooed, cursed like a sailor. Just being me in a room full of folks that have their way, their bias. And I just think that that's what ended up where I'm at today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that you give so much space to other people to be who they are and to learn new things. I think you leave so much space for yourself too, as well, for that. So you have a family. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Yeah, Mr. Andy Zinsser and Olympia Zinsser. She likes to be called Ollie one day, Olympia the next day. I can't keep up. And our 2 dogs, our little group of Zinzers there. My husband, actually our anniversary is today, our wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. So we've been married for 9 years, and my little one just turned 5. May is one of our best months of celebration. So Andy is a software engineer for a biotech company. And Olympia is just being a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Do you think that Olympia, I've met her daughter, and I feel like she's an old soul. I feel like you're an old soul. Did that occur to you early on?
Yeah. The stuff that she was saying even at 3. And I think it's because I feel I had to grow up pretty quickly, going to the work field at 15, with a lot of adults around me. It's also car salesman. That was a whole different type of person to help. And with her, she was around adults during the pandemic, and, we took her out. And so we speak to her as an adult, and I feel that kind of brought her there. But let me tell you, she still has her kid tendencies. I was telling you, she has like 20 million stuffies. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But she's definitely an old soul, and I was noticing that. And even now, you just see that, and it's really special.
Yeah. Where have you and your family found belonging? Obviously, you belong to the community, for a long time. But where do you feel like you've really established roots? You live in Summerlin.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your life.
I live in Summerlin. I do love where I live because it's so convenient for my husband to mountain bike. Literally, we live in the Reverence community. Yeah. And so he mountain bikes. I like to run around there. I found our belonging with a lot of folks that have the similar kind of different, younger vibe of like changing the narrative in life, and that being some, adults from her school, some parents from her school, people that I meet in workout classes, folks that I meet in UnCommons and the community there, and we just started kind of making our bubble bigger, which is great. And even like at nonprofit events, they become best friends of ours. They have kids now, all these best friends with them.
That's awesome.
And we just started growing that community because we've always had our base of friends in our community, but we've all grown up. Everyone changes, everyone's different, and finding that wave. So we started finding that in different pockets throughout. I can't say it's specifically to Summerlin. A lot of my friends don't live in Summerlin proper, but just throughout the whole valley. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a generation of people who are when you see like-minded people and you're like, oh, I can ask how are you, and it's not the polite pleasantry that's just supposed to be appropriate, like
surfacey.
Yeah.
Like the surfacey, like, I hope this email finds you well.
Yeah.
Like,
No. let's dig past that.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you had a podcast once. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm a avid podcast listener. I kind of go from your guys' podcast to a murder podcast to the daily. And I was listening to a podcast that was from an influencer, and she was inviting all her friends, and I was like, hold up. Let me invite my friends. Let me talk to them. And it was during, when everything was shut down, and I did it just for fun. I invited my brother, my best friends, people that I worked with, and we talked about certain topics. And it was a blast.
Right.
I loved it. I didn't put a schedule and, trying to knock out a podcast every 2 weeks or every month because I wanted it just to be fun.
Yeah.
And it's still there. I might bring it up if the one person that's been highly requested is my husband. So need to figure that one out. But it was fun to get to know them. I edit it myself. It was just I call it my hobby, my fun hobby for sure. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a ride, let me tell you. I feel like a video podcast is a whole other ordeal because here, we're like dressed and appropriate instead of a few years ago or during COVID when you could just be like in loungewear, but apparently we have to show up and like look presentable or something.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay, so let's get into the Vegas stuff of it. Sure. Like, where do you, somebody from out of town is coming in, where do you tell them to go? What are your recommendations?
Oh man. So I tell them to don't stay on the Strip. I really want to get the experience of Vegas local. But if, it depends on what they want. They want the Strip, I got some places for you. Go to Breza, go to, those fun restaurants, Carbone, feel the Vegas vibe, Delilah, all those certain spots. Off the Strip, if I tell them to stay with me, I'm always like, hey, I'll come stay at our place. Go to, Mothership Coffee down in Ferguson's, check out Ferguson's. That's a really cool spot to check out, a very local artist driven. Come to UnCommons, especially when we get all the food. Check out, what other spots do I always tell them to? A lot of our shopping mall areas have really unique food. So, Black Sheep, I believe it's called, Other Mama, a lot of food focused places to go to for that experience. Vegas has a lot of gems. And if you really want to have a good buzz, go to Golden Tiki. That's always a good time.
It is a good time.
And then for the outdoors, I always say Red Rock. That's a good spot. I keep my little gem of Mount Charleston in my pocket so I could take people. I love to just escape up there.
Yeah.
And the fact that's 45 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah.
Nice little spot.
It really is.
Yeah. So I tend to give food focus recommendations because a lot of the people that hit me up are like, where should I eat? Where should I go? What's different? And I was like, okay, I got you.
We have so much, and I'm still discovering things, and there's still stuff that's opening, and it's so fun.
Megan wants to go to a new place.
Yeah. I mean, you should. I'm always like, what just opened? What does this person say? Oh, the cathedral just opened. I'm like, what? I didn't even know that was opening. Okay.
Yeah.
I just took my daughter over. There's is it Shanghai Plaza over in Chinatown, and we just tried because I'm going to do a post on the best ice cream shops, and there's some really cool stuff that's new, and there's a La Paleta in there, which is Mexican ice cream bars. popsicles.
Ooh, yeah.
And then we ended up there, and it was like, you can see the views, you can see the strip from there. Like and I'm like, there's so many places in here. It's like, I want to try them all.
That's great.
It's fun.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing on a Sunday when the weather's perfect? Are you outside?
I have the privilege of my daughter having sleepovers at my parents' house every Saturday night.
Yes.
So depending on my Saturday night, if Andy and I went out or not, but usually on a Sunday, if it's just Andy and I, it's either going to Hot Pilates at True Fusion. It's my go-to. 8 a.m. class, see me there, or running around our neighborhood. Probably not right now because the grasshoppers are back.
Yeah.
Everybody's been talking about those grasshoppers.
I'm freaking out.
I used to run at night, and the bats are terrible in the summer. That's what people don't know about Vegas.
Can I tell you a story about the grasshoppers real
Yes.
quick?
Yeah.
It was miserable. Yesterday I went to Hot Pilates, 6 a.m., doing my thing, driving in, and all of a sudden my car's hitting a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, no. So I go up, and this is in downtown Summerlin. Like, there was just so many grasshoppers. I grabbed onto a stranger. I'm like, ma'am, are you afraid of bugs? She goes, no. I go, can I huddle next to you? Sure, I got you. Like her heavy Australian accent. And I was like, thank you so much. And I closed my eyes, let her lead me. And then when we left, I had my two friends with me, and I was like, guys, hold on to me. So they're like guarding me.
I feel like
Definitely afraid of bugs.
Not about bugs.
I feel like you're so tough though. Like I feel like if you put on like some like Iron Fist, like you could just totally like
the bugs is where it gets me. My previous life, so I
Yeah.
worked in medical field for 5 years before we work, after being a waitress, and it was organ and tissue donation. So I physically removed bones and tissue and skin from donors, but I can't deal with bugs. I'm down with like
Isn't that funny?
grabbing a femur, whatever. But when it comes to a bug, I'm like, no, I'm good.
yeah.
No.
It's funny the things that make us squeamish, and we're all different.
Well-
bugs don't bother me, but if there's snakes, I can't handle that.
Yeah, no. And I feel like also because you're such a friend of nature that you would just be really comfortable.
But not of bugs. Not of the.
My daughter yesterday, she was like, there's a bug on the counter. I'm like, oh, okay. Here it comes. Like, here it comes. And she is like running. I'm
My
like,
daughter's like you. She hates bugs. Like,
Can't.
she cannot handle it, but she can watch the worst horror movie.
Yeah.
Something getting hacked up. She's like all about it.
Yo, I'm not gonna, end a bug's life, but like I need them to not be in my space.
It's so funny.
And you're kind of in the right place, because that's one of the things people love about Vegas is, aside from that, we really don't have we don't have mosquitoes unless you let your pool go
Yeah.
haywire. We don't have a lot of bugs here, which is a nice thing.
Yeah, please don't let your pool go haywire though, because
want-
West Nile is
Yeah, we don't
real.
want Zika virus or West
No,
Nile.
we don't got time for
You
that.
don't need that inner space. Vegas is great for that. I mean, you know what you're getting. You know mostly the type of weather you're gonna get, where you could go for a good time, and also outdoors. And you don't have to worry about certain bugs. I mean, you got some creeper crawlers in the desert, but duh, they should be there. They
Yeah.
live there.
Have you ever had snakes at your house?
No, not yet. Knock on wood, because I swear I will not. You know what else I'm also very afraid of to happen in our house, because we're out in the desert over there? Scorpions. I'd like to have one.
Wait, you have yet to have a scorpion?
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Unless I just haven't. My husband has been catching them before me. But nothing. The weirdest thing that we get in our backyards happened 2 summers now. Tarantula hawks. That's here in Vegas.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are gnarly.
A
Yeah.
friend of mine posted a picture of one on his place in Lake Las Vegas, and I was like, I'm never gonna sleep again.
yeah, no, not a fan.
Not a big fan. I thought it was a hummingbird at one point. I was like, no, it's not a hummingbird. I gotta go.
That's so funny. So I've never asked you about your tattoos. Do you have a tattoo artist, a specific one that you go to? You want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to the studio, because he unfortunately retired.
Okay.
Bless his heart, Austin Spencer. So the studio out here is Studio 21 Tattoos.
Okay.
Love their space. I actually worked for them when I was 20 to 21 years old, real quick. Not when I got all my tattoos, though, shockingly. But so Austin Spencer's really good. There's another guy named Kyle Montoya that works at Stay True, or I think he owns it now. Those are my 2 go-to guys for tattoos.
Cool.
Nice.
What are you still doing it? Like, are we still formulating designs?
Yeah,
And
I go to this other woman who's awesome for lighter, delicate tattoos.
okay.
God, I think it's like Little Bits by Leroy is her Instagram. I'm adding soft touches. Like I added my daughter's name on my neck. I added my grandma's handwriting saying I love you in Spanish, te amo. And so I'm still collecting little bits.
Yeah.
Bits.
Wasn't your grandma's name Amalie? Isn't that who you're named after?
No, my mom's name is Amalia.
Okay.
So her name in what she thought was French, but the way she spelled it is German, is Amalie.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's such a pretty name.
Yeah.
My daughter's named after my grandmother's middle name.
Okay.
So her full name is like Nilda Josefina Olympia, I believe. There's a lot of middle names for her. And so when we heard her middle name, I was like, got her name. There we go.
That's so cool.
You speak Spanish?
Yeah, I'm Cuban, 100%.
Yeah. Are you really?
Yeah.
Megan has an affinity for the Cuban boys.
I mean, here we are.
You can take that. Well, I can't say this on the microphone, but yeah, I was married to
You're
a
saying
Puerto
it, right?
Rican Colombian, so my kids are half Hispanic, and we may not be together anymore, but you can't take that out of me.
No,
It's in my heart.
You can't take the Ramos out of her.
No, yeah, I'm 100%. I like to, my brother and I were born in America. My brother was born in Puerto Rico. I was born here.
That's so cool.
But yeah, my family's from Cuba and then dispersed and then met in Dominican Republic.
Oh my gosh.
When they fell in love.
So beautiful. Do you go at all? Have you taken your daughter?
My parents tell me not to visit Cuba. And
That's what I hear.
so if I want to, feel my culture fully and immerse in it, you just got to go to where majority of my family lives in Miami or Puerto Rico. And then you just feel like you're right at home.
I think there's more Cubans in Miami than there probably are in Cuba.
I mean, honestly, it's very heavy Cuban for sure.
So what's the advice to someone maybe who's just moving to Las Vegas for the first time on how they can become immersed in our community?
Yeah, visit and check out each neighborhood if you can. If you're visiting, you're like, I'm thinking about moving there, stay for 2 weeks, stay in Henderson, stay downtown Vegas, stay in Spring Valley, stay in Summerlin, or north area as well. Just figure yourself out and figure out what you really want. Do you want walkable space? That's something that we really miss, and we're happy that UnCommons is there, but I don't live at UnCommons. I kind of do. But that's something that we miss. Figure out, do you need more playgrounds, or is it family focused? Are you single and wanting to mingle? Like, go downtown. There's certain pockets that whatever your life story is, you're going to find that in Vegas. Not a lot of people think that in Vegas. They just think the Strip and that's it. There's so much more
Really?
to Las Vegas, and there is that community. You just got to find what speaks to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And to your hobbies. So you do Pilates. I think you do yoga too, right?
I'm not a big yoga person. Okay. I'm going to try to be. I should be.
But you're a runner, right?
I'm a runner.
Yeah.
Huge runner, huge cyclist. Running is my number one. Pilates comes second. Cycling comes third. But yeah, I mean, where I live, I'm able to do all of that. I go to True Fusion for my hot Pilates. There's also core Pilates that I go to for different, different type of Pilates for the body. And I'm able to cycle and run where I live. So it's a good spot. So for me, it works. We just miss having that coffee shop that we could walk to. That's what I miss. I miss
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you look forward to coming to UnCommons that maybe you know about or don't know about yet that has yet to be announced?
Yeah, so it's been trickling out, but our residents just moved in, so we have Vestra. So we're able to have the apartments, but what's going to be coming, Salt and Straw is around the corner. That ice cream that everyone loves, especially at downtown Disney, you could get it there. We're going to have a coffee shop. We're also going to have the Assembly. So haven't really talked a lot about that. That is a conference center.
Okay.
Where we could have panels, we could have discussions. Okay. You could book it out for a large team gathering. That's something that we're really looking forward to host. And it kind of goes more towards the local community, local workforce, or to get off the Strip, or, not wanting to book a conference space in a hotel. Sure. It's more intimate. And, we do have like a little back of house there that, our preferred vendors will be our food and beverage on
That's
site.
great.
Easy. There's easy to have a conference there.
There's really not a lot of spaces like that because I've done big company events when I was in home building and different meetings and stuff. There's just not unless you're at a hotel, casino, maybe the library. There's a couple of places. So that's really cool.
No, it's great. And it's beautiful too. It's like 2 private rooms and then a quad. And the 2 private rooms, they have the sliding doors. I don't know how to call it, but it opens up to the quad. So if you want to book up the whole place, you can. And it's just, as UnCommons is beautiful, as we were talking about earlier, it's the same vibe and that same like feel of that nod to Vegas, the desert. So that's coming up. I'm really excited. That's slated to construction. Please don't fail me now. For September, fall a time that you can start booking it out. So
Well, we have an event that we're planning in the fall.
Yes.
And maybe we can make it happen there.
I think you should.
Okay,
That would
great.
be amazing. I do have a question, just selfishly. There's going to be co-working space? Is there a co-working space element at UnCommons, or is that still in the works?
It's still in the works to have, a tenant that could lead out co-working for sure. But our space is made to co-work. If you want away from the house so your children aren't loud.
We were talking about this before we started recording today.
and I live very close to there. And I was like, I don't know, last year I texted the owner. I was like, Simply Vegas plus UnCommons, like, can we make this happen? Yes. I drive by there all the time and I'm like, I think your environment matters, like where you're just for your energy level and for inspiration. And there's just something about the space there.
Absolutely. So though we don't have a tenant that's, hosting co-working, the big wigs like Industrious, WeWork and all of them, our space is built for that. We have the beautiful quad before it gets too hot, but I love to work out of the quad in the morning, in the shade, listening to our wonderful playlist, and, feeling the energy of others. And, we have Earth Cafe that you could pop into and work out as well. Or behind Sun Life, there's wonderful seating. And you get to feel that energy. Pop in your headphones, do some work. I feel way more productive when I'm in that environment.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do need to stay at home or in an office to do, I call it the busy work.
Right.
But if you could do work that just elevates you and makes you feel good, the quad is where it's at for sure.
Like creative work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and other times you need a high-speed rail taking you right from your house to the office of your choice so that you can escape whatever thing you're dealing with at home.
From your lips to God's ears, high-speed rail in Vegas needs to be a thing.
Yes, please.
As I sat in traffic on the 215 today to come over here, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting so bad.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an ongoing construction.
Every corner.
That there's all those reports you guys probably know this more than me. Aren't we the second city that everyone's moving to, or
we're
top?
up there? Yeah.
Yeah, we're one of the top. I mean, I find it for what type of work that I do so beneficial, so exciting. Oh my gosh, yay, it's growing. The city's becoming, because people didn't think that we were a serious city. It's becoming a serious city.
It really is, yeah.
We are a destination.
Yeah.
I find it great when I see it, but all my friends, all my girlfriends are like, oh, God, this is horrible. I'm like, I know, but it's great.
I know.
Yes, that's so true. Let's play a little game before you go.
Yes.
Do you want to play Kiss, Marry, Kill?
Yeah, let's do it.
We could call it Fuck, Marry, Kill too. We'll make it explicit. Okay, so we'll just do a little one with the hotels on the Strip. Circus, Luxor, Excalibur.
Oh, gosh.
And what makes your answers fun is all the memories that you have there, and
I'm not a. You're
or the bad memories that you have there.
I'm not at liberty to discuss this.
Vegas locals have the good stories.
I'm gonna kill Circus.
Oh, okay.
Right off the bat, I'm coming out.
Okay.
Killing.
Yep.
I don't have good memories from there.
No.
At all when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was not a big fan of clowns. The theme ain't it for me.
Did you ever get your face painted there?
No. I think I cried whenever we had to go to Circus.
Like grasshoppers.
I was like, well, basically.
Yeah.
I just never enjoyed it. Maybe it's because we were always walking down the Strip, and that was always our last destination, I think. And I was just exhausted and just done. And the theme ain't it for me. I think I would just kiss Luxor. we're cool. There's been great memories as a kid and an adult going there. A lot of fun, but I won't commit.
Yeah.
For Excalibur, even though, you know, we've gone through time and we've aged, we're still good.
Yeah.
You know, there was still an experience. There's still that nostalgic moment of like, where's the wizard? And the wizard's not there anymore, but like, at least I don't think so. I haven't found him.
Right.
But you know, there's still got that feeling in there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm down to marry it and commit.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's different.
I like Killing Circus Circus. You're the first person who's done it.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, everyone else wants to marry it because they have good memories there.
Oh, no.
And I mean, I had good memories there too. Like I had my face painted there. Like that's where my dad it was like the go-to spot for like, you know, games and face painting. But I mean,
So I basically made everyone a widow because I just like slaughtered them. If they wanted to marry.
I mean, I don't think I would cry if it like the point I think of the game is like, what are you going to be sad to see come down when it's just being bulldozed or imploded or something like that?
I'm ready for her to go. So mean, but you know what? It is what it is. The circus ain't for me.
Yeah, that's so
Maybe we can put a legit like amusement park, theme park in its place or somewhere else. That's what we need here, I think.
Yeah, or like I like boutique feel, like more condensed. We're so grand, just grand. I feel like we could be more intimate with whatever we put there.
Yeah.
If it's going, I'm over here killing it. For sure.
Yeah, that's so funny. I mean, at some point it'll have to go.
Yeah.
It'll have to go.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're fun.
Very
Gonna
fun.
come back?
Of course.
Okay.
Okay, yes, come back.
Hang out.